This morning we're going to learn how to make a chipping box. You use that when you're doing gold work so that you have some place to keep the little chips as you're working and also a place to cut them. If you don't do that as you're cutting chips, they tend to kind of jump a little bit. And so having it in a box like this will not only give you a place to store them, but it keeps them from jumping all over. So I have three different kinds here this morning. Um, this one is just a little shallow wooden dish with velvet in it. I have a gift card box, and I usually use this for beads and other things, but it also can be used for chipping. And then I have a velvet board, which has velvet on one side and felt on the other. And sometimes this is useful, but as you're cutting, you sometimes find that the chips tend to bounce, and just because I'm saying they will, they're behaving themselves right now, but they do tend to jump around a bit. And anyway, so that's the purpose, is to cut the chips like this. And so the fourth kind is to actually make a little shallow box with a kind of a the fabric comes down, so it creates kind of a well in the center, and the chips can stay in there, and then when you're not using it you can just put the lid on, so that you can uh, save them so they don't fall out. So to do this, you're going to need a box with a lid, a shallow box with some kind of lid, and I have three. An old jewelry box works really well. So I have these three, and this largest one is about 4 by 5 inches, but any of these three would work. You need that. You need some fabric like velvet or a velveteen. Velveteen is better. It tends to hold up better. But a suede cloth, something like that, would work also. You need some fiber fill of some kind, and so I have some loose fiber fill here. I have some quilt batting that you can cut in a strip if you want it. And then I even have some cotton balls. So if you don't have the others and you have cotton balls, you can use those also. And you need some glue. This is Eileen's Tacky Glue. You'll want to have a pair of scissors to cut your fabric, a big pair of scissors. You want to have some kind of clip to hold the edge in place while the glue is drying. You want to have a damp cloth so that if you happen to get glue on your fingers, you can wipe it off before it gets on the fabric. So if I take this box, take the lid off, and then take your batting, and I'm just going to use the cotton balls today. Take it and kind of arrange it so that it fits all the way around the edge. It doesn't have to be perfect, just has to be enough so that the the fabric will slope up the sides rather than making sharp corners. So I think I have enough of my cotton in there. Now take your fabric, and you want to cut it so that it is just about this much larger than your box. When you put it in the box, you want it to be able to fit around, and then around the batting and go down the sides. So I like to take my glue, put just a little tiny bit in the center, not enough so that it's going to go through the fabric, but just so that it kind of holds it in place. Kind of center your fabric on that and push that down. Since you're going to have excess fabric in the corners, you may want to go ahead and just cut off just the extra corner fabric like that. take your fabric, roll it around the batting so that it is nice and smooth like that, and so that it creates this angle that comes from the bottom and up to the edge this way. Do that all the way around the edge. Kind of pick up the batting, roll it in the fabric so that it fits like that around all four sides. I like to kind of test fit first to make sure that I've got it the way I want before I do any gluing. Once I have all four sides with the fabric around it, then I go ahead and glue. If you're having trouble keeping it in place, you can go ahead and glue one side at a time if you want to. So there I have it. So that would work. So I have my well in the center and then my fabric that comes up around the side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my glue. Let's see. And I'm going to take my fabric and I'm going to push that up into right along that glue right there. Then I can take my clips and I can just clip them. You can use clothespins if you want any kind of clip like that. So that just clips it right around the edge, and you want to go around all four sides of your box. And see here, it's kind of, it's not as nicely in the corner as you'd want it. So since I've only glued this one edge, I can go ahead and kind of rearrange that to get it exactly how I want. And remember to keep the glue off your fingers. And then when you're through, you're going to have, you see how that has a well in the center. And then when it's dry, then you can cut your chips and then put the lid on, and then it'll keep them safe while you're pausing in your embroidery. And that's how you make a chipping box for gold work.